maintaining, y'all. Trying to stay positive. Trying to get through this week. It's just so much going on. But I'm trying to stay positive and grow in my discomfort place. I'm not too discomfortable, but I'm not like where I would love to be. But that's just how life is sometimes, right? What did I do today? I was a dog mom once again. Had a moo once again. Today was Earth Day. Went outside, looked at the grass. Trees were blowing around. Things were happening. So, happy Earth Day to all those who celebrate. I thought it was funny because my brother wished me happy Earth Day, and which was so random, but it was just, I don't know, it just made me laugh so much. But yeah, y'all, I went to the gym. I really don't have none of my equipment to work at home, because I would have worked outside on Earth Day, but, you know, I'm stuck to that gym. And yeah, man, it's just been, I'm just trying to make it through this week. I'm not rushing anything. I'm not freaking out. I'm just here, you know? I'm still here. You know, I'm not tripping off of nothing, though, y'all. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Because if you trip off of it, then you catch a case. So, see, I don't want to do that. So, I'm just mellowing out. I'm just chilling, you know? I mean, you know, that's how it is when you are trying to maintain your zen, your peace, your woosah. You be like, it's one extreme, but I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna just chill. So that's where I'm at. I'm on that. I'm just chilling. I'm just making it through this week. You know, just trying to keep my head up, trying to stay positive, you know. And that's all. That's all it is, to be quite honest with you all. So, other than that, let's get in the news, because that's what's popping. Columbia University main campus classes will be hybrid until semester ends. I have a video of that. All those kids camped out. A lot of people said these are just rich kids who just have nothing else to do, and I kind of believe them, because how do you have time to do all this protesting? I still don't care why David Beckham is suing Mark Wahlberg's exercise company. It's just not, still sounds like really rich people problems, and they ain't there yet. The Knicks have been winning, if anybody cares about that. This is sad news. A high school senior killed after prom. Arkansas cop says a 19-year-old alumnus is charged. Lawrence Fishburne's daughter, Montana, issued a 24-month probation amid 2022 arrests. Montana has been quiet. Please don't bring her back out. I remember when she was doing porn. Let her stay where she's at. It's been quiet. We haven't heard nothing from her. A woman gave a scammer she met on a dating site her $1.5 million life savings before being found dead. Wow. Sad all around. Scammers just have no conscience, right? 5 people, including at least 2 kids, mysteriously found dead in a home. Woman dies falling 250 feet into a volcano while her husband was taking a photo. How crazy is that? And why did either one of them think it was going to be a good idea? Pregnant woman found dead in a mud pit after getting into the wrong car. Dang. See, the news just reminds you that you're still blessed. You know what I mean? Let's see. A Peruvian psychologist who suffered from an incurable disease died of euthanasia, become the first person in the country to obtain the right to die with medical assistance. Yeah, the 5 people, including the 2 children who were found dead in the Oklahoma City home on Monday. That's what I was just reading about. They don't say what the cause of death is at all. More Trump news. A comedian, Arj Barker, asked a breastfeeding mother and her baby to leave his comedy show in Melbourne. Why is a baby in the audience at a comedy show? That's interesting. I mean, I get being able to feed in public, but I've never seen anybody bring a baby to a comedy show unless it's like a kid's comedy show. TikTok creator star Eva Evans died at 29. I think she had a health issue, is what I believe. Hospitalized women are less likely to die or be remanded to a hospital if they are treated by female doctors. Shout out to female doctors. I got me one. Several Cuban-American women who have touted their abuelas influenced their recipe in blogs and comedy. Oh, good old abuela. I feel like an abuela this week, I ain't gonna lie. After her son's suicide, Jenny Cesario turned to his phone for answers. Scrolling through his TikTok, she found at least 15 videos he had liked that directly promoted suicide. Some are still up on the platform over a year later. Listen, the algorithm will find you. That's why you got to be careful with that. The algorithm, and that's not just TikTok. That's anything you search for real. Let's see what I liked on this app. So this guy, he's got some conspiracy theory. He says they've been selling our weapons to military equipment and stuff to Mexico for the cartels. Let's hear it.
And our fuck. You're a fellow Marine. Listen, man. I'm really on orders, okay. And you probably don't believe me, and you probably don't even care, and it's okay. But people are getting hurt, and this ties into a whole bunch of stuff. They've been selling our weapons and our fucking military equipment over in Mexico to the cartels. And I've been able to prove that, and that's why I'm supposed to go back to the Master Chief Petty Officer Navy, because there's boats. If you ride around in Chula Vista and go right over there by fucking, what is that called? The industrial plaza, by the Food for Less, and you'll see there's Navy boats that came from the SEAL boat installation that they took out, and they're taking them apart and they're taking them across the border. All of that stuff is going across the border, and I'm not lying to you, man.
Well, Marine, I wish you all the luck, Semper Fi. I'm a former Marine myself.
We're gonna need a lot more than luck. If those cartel members use that stuff against us, and they are going to use that stuff against us, we're gonna need a lot more than luck.
Listen, he might not even be lying. So the next time you do a mud bath, just remember, don't fart in it like this lady did. So this is supposed to be an anti-spill bowl for babies. Baby immediately spills it. He immediately breaks it. Babies, they gonna find a way to destroy something. They just are. And I don't know why they're like that. But then when you get old and you want to do that, everybody want to call you crazy. Sweetie posts screenshots of Quavo and her DMs from January because right now Chris Brown and Quavo are fighting back and forth. And I guess Sweetie is getting involved. She said hopefully the model he turns into me replies. He said, dang, we mean something to each other. I don't know. These little kids and these rap beefs, this over my head. What is my take on the rivalry taking place in the culture? I think that they did this all for streams. This is like the new thing. They start drama just to get streams going. California lawmakers propose legislation to ban Clear. Says that Clear only helps wealthier passengers. I guess that's a TSA thing. Somebody shared a thing saying that only thing it does for you is allow you to take off your shoes. You still gotta wear. You still gotta wait. Alright, let's go over to TMZ, see what they're yapping about. Everybody talking about the little rap R&B disses. Oh, they didn't put Eric B. and Rakim in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame yet. They need to, but look how long they took to put Cher in there. You would think Cher should have been in there. People are going crazy about Beyonce's real hair. That's all the internet been talking about today. And people was like, because in the beginning of the video, she's holding her hairline. But I think she did that because her hairline wasn't, like, I think she does threading or something for her hairline to be, like, as flawless as it is. But I guess it wasn't for, I don't know. But people's like, I'm telling y'all, the front where she was holding down, that part was a wig. I don't know. Beyonce's too rich. I don't care, honestly. Her hair regimen is rich. She's trying to sell us people the watered down version of whatever she's doing for her hair. But, I'm just learning I can't use oil or grease in my hair. I need water-based moisture. I just learned that last week. I guess, because, Taylor Swift made a song about Kim Kardashian, and I guess this caused Kim to lose 100,000 of her social media followers. Delta Burke, I used to love her on Designing Women. She said that she tried crystal meth to lose pounds, but she didn't eat for 5 days. Man, I can only imagine what the Hollywood people tried back then, man. Still working on the Michael Jackson biopic. Alright. Big Ed and Liz are still going strong. Big Ed is still breaking hearts. I just can't even believe that. Alright, let's get into these Reddit, y'all. The news is kind of slow today, which is good. I mean, unfortunately, there was a few murders, but nothing too crazy, for this crazy world we live in. I'm shocked. And thank goodness. How do you keep your relationship as good as day one? Well, you have to physically, emotionally, mentally, and all the above keep yourself sharp as day one. I mean, you have to still have some attraction for each other physically, emotionally, mentally. It's not always perfect by far, but, once you build that, for me anyway, once you build that, rapport for each other, and absence makes the heart grow fonder. Don't be up under each other 24/7. That is bad. that was what works for me. Like me and my husband, we definitely see each other every day, but we have our own hobbies, our own things we like to do. And then we come together and we spend time together. We still try to do date nights, stuff like that. So just the little things, the little things. Somebody said you don't, they evolve to something different. If you chase the honeymoon phase forever, you'll never find the contentment. You don't, you make it better. Both people need to be in agreement that relationship is going to change. That's what's settled. Never stop dating your partner. Yeah, see, this is something I live by. Never stop dating your partner. You don't need to fake things, but you don't need to take things for granted. Make time to go have fun. Impress each other. Work to make them proud and want to be with you. Try each other's hobbies genuinely, but let's still let them have their own thing if you're not interested or they need their time. And most importantly, realize that they're going to change and grow or perhaps even regress. All people do at times. You can shape, help, and direct, but you can't control it. Ride the wave. That to me is spot on for how my relationship is. What's the worst thing about living alone? I wouldn't know. But let's see what they're saying. Fear of choking. Paying twice the rent and bills just for privacy. A couple years ago, my wife had to have a total hysterectomy. She's always told me that what a nightmare it would have been to have not have me helping her. So, they hope that doesn't refill the ice tray. 6 months ago, I went back to living alone after leaving a 6-year toxic, abusive relationship. I've never appreciated solitude more. Every day is like a dream. I will never take it for granted again. Yes, sometimes it can get lonely, but it's a small price to pay for not having someone criticizing, freeloading, or making messes everywhere he goes and not contributing to anything. I might live this way forever. Having to pay for everything by yourself. No one to split chores with. Yeah. What's one of the most disturbing or cringe things you've read in someone's dating bio? Alpha male, for sure. Anyone who puts IQ in their bio. I'm annoying, will always be fighting. I'll say I hate you, but you'll always come crawling back. No money, no honey. Anything to the effect of my divorce isn't finalized yet. At least I was being honest. Some people won't even tell you that. Let me be your next big mistake. I had to say something about the opposite I read on a guy's profile. I'm even-tempered. And I was like, wow. Unfortunately, I was very not attracted to him. But top opening line. Had someone on Grindr request I leave my door unlocked, blindfold myself, and be bent over when they got there. I said no after that offer. A man's name was showing up on my feed, and it was pretty cringe because I'm a lesbian. Anytime a cis man sets himself on a woman dating app or they do that, I'm not shocked. Well, that's funny. I'm not actively dating, but still get the Match.com emails with today's pics. The women who start off their profile with Christ follower, he is all, he is everything, and then state the man she wants should be like-minded in approaching life through Christ and living in this image. I'm not religious and don't care what religion proclivities a person has, but proclivities, see? I'm about to mess up proclivities, see? A person has, but something feels really off reading profiles like that. Pure blood, not stupid, looking to lick feet. Somebody put I poop a lot in their profile. Well, at least you know they're regular. What's your OF off? There is no way that's true, fact, or stat. Ancient Egypt lasted so long that ancient Egypt archaeology was a career in ancient Egypt. Greenland sharks can live up to 500 years. They don't reach sexual maturity until they're 100 years old. When they get pregnant, their gestation lasts 18 years. Dang. If you're 7 feet tall, you have a 1 in 6 chance of landing in the NBA. Remember that when y'all give y'all kids some puberty blockers, you're stunting their growth. The sun contains 99% of the solar system's mass. A full-size basketball player can fit inside of a soccer penalty box. Dang. Soccer fields are just huge for no reason. And I was telling my husband this, I'm like, people watch soccer for like hours and nobody scores a point. And maybe it's 1 point scored. I just don't know how y'all like this. Some worms were frozen solid for over 40,000 years in Siberia. Then some scientists revived them so they weren't actually not dead, just resting. Koala's entire diet is eucalyptus tree leaves, which are incredibly toxic. Baby koalas aren't born with immunity to the toxins. They gain this by eating their mother's poo. Eesh. Now remember that next time you want to pick up a koala. Losing weight. When your body burns fat for calories, that mass is turned mostly into carbon dioxide. On a caloric deficit, the excess weight leaves your body through breathing. You're getting slimmer by inhaling. And then you're lightheaded and you pass out. Alright, let's try some of these Am I the A-hole? Am I the a-hole for telling my friend I'm not interested in a date with her friend because she's obese? So I'm 25 and I have a 28-year-old friend of mine who tried to put me on a date with one of her friends. She knows I've been trying to get back out into the serious dating world after the dumpster fire from my last relationship for 2 years ago. She told me she has a friend who was also looking and would be more than happy to set us up on a date. I gladly said yes and asked her colleague to show me some pictures of her so I could see what she looks like. At first, she didn't want to show me at all because she wanted to have it be a surprise. After going back and forth for a little, I convinced her to show me what she looked like. She showed me pictures of her and she was up there in size. I'm not trying to be mean here at all, but I'm not interested anymore after seeing what she looked like. I myself used to be over 300 pounds at 6'1" until I turned 21, and I shed 150 pounds over the course of 2 years. Trying to be nice, I told her, well, I appreciate it for trying. I was not interested, but extremely thankful. She immediately went off on me saying I was shaming her and being fat phobic because she was a larger woman and that it shouldn't matter and I should see past it, and all my preference of dating was crap. I couldn't bring myself to that for some... Listen, man, you're not the a-hole. Because if you're not attracted to her, you're not attracted to her. That's just that on that. And your friend just have to understand. Like, it's all good. Somebody said, not the a-hole, you're not attracted to this person, you're entitled to your preference. Yeah, it's very simple. I am sure my wife cheated on me. I'm 40. I think last night my wife, 43, cheated on me. We have been married 10 years, together for 13. She went out to buy some stuff for the home, which is weird. She hates doing that. And she went with a male friend. I don't know. She stayed out for several hours. It was weird because she spent the day getting ready like it was a date. And when she was gone, I grew suspicious and checked around the room, and she had put on her sexy underwear, which meant just for our bedroom. I do all the childcare, so I put the kids to bed. She showed up after and refused to tell me most of the details of the man she was with, and told me that in order to stay in our marriage, she needed some time that was just for her. She only told me his first name, and when I thought back, I had seen that name pop up in her text for several months. I didn't think anything of it at the time because it's the name of the work friend she said they have projects and all that. I'm about to scan through this really fast. I'm emotionally available and mature. I don't have a temper. I stay relatively fit, attractive. I'm not controlling. I don't object at all to her having male friends, but this screams affair. I'm utterly shattered. Dude, just ask the lady if she cheating on you. Somebody said lawyer up yesterday. Don't react emotionally to anything. She already told you she does not want to be married, and with this evidence, you would not be the a-hole for wanting a divorce. Sounds like the marriage was headed that way before the cheating. Alright, y'all. I got a few story times I want to get to, so let me rest my vocal cords before I mess up another word.
She knows that she has a warrior. She knows that she has a king. She know that she has spiritual covering. She knows that she has a protector, a provider, a God-fearing man that's set on actual principles. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. So if I can't love you how God intended you to be loved, I need to know God. It's that simple. That's how I look at it. You know, but I'm not in a rush to get married. Because what's going to happen on God's time is going to happen. You know? Could I take matters into my own hand and be like, you know what? I'm about to hit this girl up. I'm about to start taking her on dates. I'm about to get to know her, and I'm going to get married when I feel like it. You know, okay, you're going to do what you do. You know, but, you know, if sorrows become attached to it, just know, you went out on your own. You wasn't spirit-led when you did any of that. God's like, Dion, you still got to get to know me. It's things that you still got to learn. I still have more wisdom to bless you with, brother. You know, I still got to bless you with this. I still got to give you this. You still need to learn this. You still slipping up in this. You need to be taught this. You need to be disciplined for a little bit because you didn't need that. It's like the Lord tell you, I have all these lessons to teach you. I have so much things to bless you with. It's so much more that we got to get. You know what I'm saying? Before I send you off to a woman. You know what I'm saying? Because God loves his kids. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we got to listen to him. We got to take heed to his voice, you know? But, yeah, if I can't love her how God intended her to be loved, I ain't got no business getting married.
Listen, God love the kids, and God is love. Rev Run.
This video, if you haven't seen it on your For You page, is an entire lesson of what happens when you ignore red flags. Clearly.
It happened to me. So a while ago, I met this dude through Facebook. We were talking through Facebook Messenger for about a week or so before we actually hung out. He had made plans for us to go to the movies. So I decided to see him because I really liked him, even though we haven't met in person yet. But our conversations were like fire, baby. But anyway, when he gets to my house, he texts me that he's outside waiting for me. But it's a change of plans. We're not going to the movies no more. I'm thinking to myself, okay, cool. We might just go somewhere else. It's fine. So when I get outside, I notice that there is somebody sitting in the passenger seat, and it's another dude. I'm thinking to myself, this is awkward. So I just walk up to the car and I get in the back seat. The man that I was talking to on Facebook, he was like, I'm so sorry, but it's a change of plans because I have to take him somewhere.
Nope.
And he was talking about his friend that was sitting in the passenger seat. I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is awkward,
Yes.
but I just went
should've
along
left.
with it. I told him, I was like, that's okay. He was telling me I look real beautiful in person and everything, and he's excited that he finally got to see me after a week of just texting on Facebook. So I'm sitting in the back of his car just smiling and blushing and everything. Everything was going smooth until we got to the highway. I'm thinking to myself, why is we driving on the highway? Where is we going? The dude that I was talking to on Facebook, I guess he seen the look on my face through his rearview mirror because I was back there looking like, I think I want to go home. He looked at me and he said, don't worry, I'm just dropping him off at his house.
No.
And he lives like 30 minutes away.
No.
I said, okay.
She then goes on to say she ends up at the guy's house. He ends up trying to get her to do stuff. She's like, no, this isn't what we were supposed to do. I thought we were going to the movies. The other friend that she was with was like, oh, I thought she was down with this the whole time. Turns out they had some kind of plan for her. I don't know if they were going to her or whatnot, but she basically was realized in that moment that she was in a horrible situation. I could have told you that. I'm sorry. But then she ends up saying, can you please just take me home? I don't want to be here. They end up leaving her out. Like, they lock the door, they leave, and he's like, are you sure you want to leave without doing anything for me? And she's like, no, this is not what I wanted to do. They both end up leaving. They leave her on the side of the road. She has to call her mom. Her mom comes and picks her up. End of story. First off, I want to say I am so glad that this creator made it out of this situation very safe, and it could have ended up so horribly, and I'm very glad that she didn't and that she made it home in one piece. I am so glad that that happened because a lot of times that is not how the story ends. With that being
I want to say thank you for watching that and breaking it down so I didn't have to. This is perfect.
said, here are my DIY background check sites that I use for dating. These are free, low-cost websites that I have used previously as an investigative reporter for a decade that I now apply to my dating life. I'm going to do a multi-part series. I'm going to start with criminal background
checks and eventually morph into financial background checks. Before you say, oh, you're crazy, I've actually made some pretty significant safety missteps while dating in my 50s since my divorce because I wanted to sideline my professional knowledge about people's backgrounds and the websites I use and, just date. Then I ended up at a lunch date with a man who had a significant rap sheet for financial fraud and a coffee date with a man who had a rap sheet for some very, very serious criminal charges, including attempted murder. I haven't found a dating site that does background checks, so I do them myself now. I also want to make it clear that some of these sites might require you to create an account, may charge you a few bucks to download documents, and that these are sites that I use for dating in the United States. So let's go. The first site I'm going to give you is a totally free public website. It's the Federal Bureau of Prisons. This is a gold mine of information for federal prisoners. Now keep in mind, some people serve federal prison terms because they've been convicted in federal court, and others will serve state prison terms because they've been convicted in state court. These are not, they don't go like that, okay? So this is for federal prisoners. You're saying, well, I'm not dating somebody who's in custody currently. I mean, they're in custody. This is the great thing about that website. The records will go back to 1982, and if you put in the person's first and last name, it has to be their first and last name, not a nickname. It will let you know if they did serve time previously in prison, federal prison, and have since been released. The second site I'm going to give you, again, a totally free search. A lot of states have individual sex offender registries, but now there is a national sex offender registry. I suggest you search the National Sex Offender Registry through the Department of Justice, which is the federal database for all 50 states and the territories. But also, your state should have a sex offender registry. I would absolutely run a person's name through that. The next website, PACER. It is the federal court database website. A couple of things that you can look up, for example, somebody's declared bankruptcy, and if somebody's faced federal charges or they've been convicted of federal charges. In my experience using PACER, you do have to create an account, and there are fees for downloading the different court records that are available. I want to bring up an obvious one, but I find that a lot of my girlfriends who are dating at my age in their 50s don't know that this is available. State court records are public information. So in Utah, we have a website called Exchange. It's Exchange, not drop the E, Exchange. And it's a $5 fee to search the database. Whether it's a circuit court you have in your state, a district court, or a state court, whatever the case, even small claims records should be public. But state court records, I take these really, really seriously because you can find out somebody's criminal background. Plus, there's a whole lot of other financial information that you can glean from somebody's background, and I'll get into that more in another video. I had an acquaintance reach out to me. Her boyfriend had disappeared for 2 weeks, basically MIA. She couldn't figure out if he was ghosting her or if something seriously had gone wrong in his life. So I asked her to send me 3 things, and these are the 3 things that I feel you need at least when you're conducting these types of searches, because you don't want to screw it up and get the wrong person and all that other stuff. Their legal name, including a middle name, their date of birth, and I always like to have this information. Where do they generally spend most of their time? So if somebody has moved in from out of state, it doesn't do me a lot of good to spend days searching Utah court records if they just moved here from Colorado. And then I used the most overlooked site, I think, of all to start my DIY background checks. And I recommend everybody use this site, Google. I put his full name, first name, middle name, last name, in the Google search bar. And it popped up under a jail website. Most people don't know that jail databases are free to search, and they're open to the public. So I went to that jail website, and I put in his full name again, and again, it popped up. He had been there for exactly 2 to go research him further. I went to the state court database and popped his past history. He had been a pretty prolific drug dealer for about 20 years. I know this has been long. I hope this is helpful. If you feel you are not qualified, private investigators can be hired. I do know they cost a lot more money.
It was very helpful, honey. Free, but sometimes $5.
I shot in the chest, arm, and abdomen.
That sounds like murder, like somebody was trying to
Attempted murder.
Yeah. Why would somebody try to
That was
murder
my ex-boyfriend. Did that.
you? Why would he try to murder you?
I didn't know. We didn't have a conversation. He just came over and shot me. So he didn't have a conversation as to why he was there to do so.
Where's this ex-boyfriend?
He's dead.
How did he die?
He died in the house. Shortly after he shot me, he died.
He just died.
He got shot.
Who shot him?
Another person that he shot 6 times, and then he shot him once, and he
What
died.
kind of fucking...
It was a shootout in the house. He was trying to clear the whole house, is what he was trying to do. He had a history. When I went into the hospital, the police told me that he had did that a week prior to another family, but they all died.
So he killed the whole family?
Yeah. So I didn't know that part, So when I got in the hospital, they was telling me a lot about him that I didn't know about him.
How long did you know this man?
I was 23. I don't know. We dated a year.
And he just shot you for no reason?
He shot me because we broke up.
I never seen somebody so nonchalant about getting shot before. That's crazy.
She said on that interview that
This is a 2-part thing, but Tasha has been interviewing this Chantel Freeman, and I had played her thing like a month ago, but now I guess she took a lie detector, and the dad took a lie detector, and it wasn't true. I don't know. Let's hear hers, and then I'll go back to this one.
Your daughter has accused you of the most heinous thing. She said that you f***ed her for 10 years.
My body gave him a reaction that I didn't want.
my daughter said, Dad, if you didn't do it, you need to go on the show. You need to have you.
My father wasn't the only person that was touching me.
Brandon Freeman, your sister has waged war against your dad. And you as well, too.
My 2 older brothers was as well.
You've been around for about 20 years. You've been in Chantel's life. You know her very well.
She watched him beat my ass.
I was raised to, if you know something's wrong, say something.
You were featured on Breakbeat Media's channel, and you detailed abuse that happened to you from age 5 to 15 years old. And this alleged abuse took place by not only your mom, but your dad and your 2 brothers.
It is very important for me to tell my story to bring awareness to the Black community.
21 years old, after having a baby, right? My dad is not circumcised. He has meat everywhere. Your dad goes off to the side. The police make him pull down his pants. That man is fully circumcised. How is it that if this man allegedly took your virginity, you have been sucking his dick since you was 5, you have been in and out of his house your entire childhood, how is it that you don't know the difference between what a circumcised man is and what an uncircumcised man is?
When he saw that my hymen wasn't no longer attached, my father started to full gauge, have full-blown sex with me.
You said I was sleeping with all these women. In her video, she said I had all these women, but she wasn't lying. Plenty. 15, 20 at all times. So I was risking her life. I was sleeping with the women that are running up in her room. Then why would I be asking you if you're a virgin?
I don't remember. That was my virginity. I don't know. I don't know if it was one of my brothers. I don't know if it was my dad. I don't know.
So your mama's saying you lying. Your daddy's saying you lying. Your story and you not being able to remember.
Okay, so how about this? I'm such a liar.
And it's not just a man.
I would pay money myself to take a lie detector test and do whatever.
You do a lie detector
I
test?
swear to God I will. If you want me to do it right now, I do it right now.
Hey,
I swear to God I will.
Can we get a lie detector test down here, please?
Yeah, she on the phone to Clarence and Clarence apparently gave her documentation. She told me she wanted me to do a lie detector test and shit like that.
I don't know what. This is so messy. Alright, so here's the dad's part.
She said on that interview that because the guy asked, well, how did your dad get out of jail and why they didn't charge him for this stuff? Well, because the evidence showed that I was innocent and Chantel had not been in contact with me she's trying to run with it today. I guess, like you said, this is cloud time now. You can be famous, for...
I don't know. It's a bunch of mess.
Hiding in the closet again. So my husband told me that he feels like I've checked out of our marriage for the last year or so. But what he doesn't realize is that it's not that I've checked out of the marriage. I've checked out of being the emotional and mental quarterback, running back, defensive back, coach, owner of this entire marriage. And I really have. Like, I'm not doing that work anymore. I'm just trying to take all of that energy, that mental and emotional energy that I put into every aspect of our relationship for the last 17 years, and I'm taking it and I'm actually putting it back into me. And because I'm not like this superhuman person, I don't have enough for him. I don't have enough for me and him. And there's not enough room for both of us on the headboard. Now, because I'm a woman, of course, my tendency is to feel bad about it, especially when he expresses displeasure or sadness or feeling like I'm getting further away from him. I'm not doing that work anymore, and now he's like really noticing it. I explained to him too that like I'm on my therapy journey. I'm not happy, and I'm not blaming him. I'm taking ownership of it myself and saying, hey, I've got work to do. I've got things that I have to do to get my head right, to get my spirit right, to get my soul right. I want to make plans for myself. I want to do things that make me happy, make me feel good about myself. And the fact is, it hasn't always been this relationship. This relationship has drained the shit out of me. But when I try to explain it to him, it's like I'm speaking, Chinese. Like, he doesn't understand what I'm saying because I did it for so long. Like, willingly and happily, I did all the planning for every aspect of our lives, everything that we've done. I'm always taking the first step. I'm always saying the first person to say I'm sorry. Like, I'm always taking the lead in that mental and emotional space since the beginning of the marriage. I mean, I get it. I know he's used to it. It's what he's comfortable with. But I can't do it anymore. Like, I just can't. I don't have enough for him. And I need to take care of myself. And of course I do feel bad, but I don't feel bad because I know I'm doing what's best for me. I matter. I'm a human being too. Actually, there's kind of a part of me that hopes that he looks at me and sees the work that I'm doing, and then maybe he might take it upon himself to do some work that he needs to do for himself. I don't know, that might be a pipe dream though.
I never understand why people come on the internet to say things that they can't say to their spouse, because it's really sad if your spouse can't receive how you're feeling. That, to me, is a major flaw in a lot of relationships that, that maybe she did say it and he didn't get it, which I think is so sad that now she has to come to the internet for solace on this. But I hope that she does the work on herself, and maybe she will inspire him to do it. And, because marriage is hard, man, and when one person's growing and the other one's just remaining stagnant, you get hairy. That's why you gotta evolve together. You got to. Alright, y'all. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay blessed. And keep your head up. Whatever you're going through, stay positive. This too shall pass. That's what I've been telling myself over and over again. Speaking nothing but life. And just keep going. I'm praying for y'all. Traveling mercies. Be safe. You're blessed going in. And you're blessed coming out. Blessed in the city and blessed in the field. Y'all stay safe.